So, hey guys, welcome back to the series of Java programming. And in this video, we are going to learn about nested if control statements. So let's get started. So firstly, let me create a new file for this. So I'll name this file as pro, not here, but in my Java file, pro 9, sorry 8. So it is also present, pro9.java. So how the syntax of this nested if will be. So I'll start the comments. Sorry for that. So first we'll have the if condition, and if there are if conditions in the if condition, then that is called the nested if conditional statements. So here first we have the if condition, and in this if condition, if we have a if condition here and a else part here and followed by the else part for the first if condition. So this is called the nested if conditional statements. So let's try to write some examples using this nested if conditional statements. So we'll try to find out the average and grade of a student by reading the student name and number and as well as the marks in 3 subjects. So how will we print whether they have got the first grade or the second grade or third grade or a just pass or fail? So if the average is greater than 60, then they are first class, and if the average is greater than or equal to 50, then they are second class, and if the average is greater than or equal to 40, then they are third class, and if the average is greater than or equal to 35, then they are just pass, and if the average is less than 35, they are failed. So first we are going to calculate the average and checking whether the average mark is greater than 60. So using those marks we are going to print their grade accordingly. So first we need the scanner class. So for that we need to import the util package java.util.asterisk, and next we need to start the class pro9, and in this we'll have the public static void main of string args, and I'll open the braces. So I need the scanner class here. Scanner cin is equal to new scanner of system.in. So we got the scanner class, and we need to ask the user to enter the student name. So let's say system.out.println of enter the student name. So we need to store that student name in a variable, right? So the student name will be a string type. So string sname is equal to cin.next or next line. So we'll use the next for this, and to get the student number, I'll say system.out.println of enter student number. So for this I'll say int s number is equal to cin.next int. So we got the student number and student name, and now we need to get 3 subject marks of the student. So for that I'll say system.out.println of enter 3 subject marks. So in order to get 3 subject marks, we need to create 3 variables and store the value which the user enters into those variables. So int m1 is equal to cin.next int, and int m2 is equal to cin.next int, and for the last one, int m3 is equal to scene dot next int. So we got 3 subject marks, and now we need to calculate the total for these 3 subjects. So for that, I'll say int tot is equal to scene dot next, not scene, m1 plus m2 plus m3. So we have added the 3 subject marks and assigned that value into this total. So we need to calculate the average. So while calculating the average, sometimes the marks may have in the odd and even number values. So the answer we may get can be a float data type, right? So like a 62.5 or a 35.3, like that. So the average may be in the decimal points. So for that, we need to take the float data type. So float avg is equal to tot divided by 3. So this is how we find the average. So here this tot is an int value. So we need to convert this int to float. So how do we do that? So we just need to keep this float before this tot. So this will change this tot to float and then divide that with 3 and store that in this avg. And now we need to store the grade of the student. So I'll say string grade. So I have created a variable for this grade, which is string type. And now what I'll say is, if average is greater than 60, then the grade is equal to first. So we have calculated the average value, and we are checking that if the average value is greater than 60, then the grade will be first. So I have assigned this first value to this grade, which is the string type. And else if average should be greater than or equal to 50, and that should be less than 60. If the value is greater than 60, then it will go to the first, right? So we also need to add this one. Average should be less than equal to 60. So let's say for this, greater than or equal to 60 and less than 60. And in this case, the grade will be second. So this should be the double quotes. Double quotes, because string should be represented in the double quotes, or else there will be some errors. So we have completed the second condition, and now for the third condition, I'll say else if avg should be greater than or equal to 40 and avg should be less than 50. So this will be grade is equal to third grade. So similarly, I'll just copy this and paste it here, and if the average is greater than or equal to 35 and less than 40, then this will be just pass, and at last the grade will be fail. So there are no other conditions to check. So at last, if the value is less than 35, so all these conditions will be false and comes to else condition, and the grade is fail here. So after completing all these statements, we'll just print this grade. System.out.println of the grade is plus grade. So everything is working good, but where did we use this nested if condition? So for that, instead of using this end condition, what I'll do is I'll place a if in this one. I'll say if, so the condition here will be average should be less than 60, and then the grade should be second. I'll place this inside and remove this. So first it checks for whether average is greater than or equal to 50, and if this condition is true, it comes inside, and it also checks whether average is less than 60, and then it will assign this second grade to this grade variable. So that's how the nested if condition works. So let's see whether this will work or not. So let's try to compile this. Java C Pro 9.java. Oh shit. This should be double quotes, right? So let's try to run this again. Plus grade. What happened to this? Grade might not have been initialized. So first let's try to initialize this. Now Java Pro 9. So enter the student name, let's say Krish, and the student number is 123, and now 3 subjects marks will be 60, 56, 60 and 30. That's it. The grade is 3. So let's try to get the second grade. So for that, let's say 50, 50, 50. Maybe that will work good. Krish and 123. So 50, 50 and 50. So the grade is second. So first it's checking whether the average is greater than or equal to 50, and if this works and the average is less than 60, and if this also works, the grade will be second. So that's how the nested if condition works. And that's it for now. Hope you guys like this video. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon for instant notifications from my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.